The reason I love All Elite Wrestling is because they are not a perfect wrestling promotion. AEW has made mistakes and continues to make mistakes to this day. However, AEW has always made it clear that the company listens to its fans and welcomes criticism. When we wanted something, AEW made it their top priority to deliver, and more often than not, they always did. One aspect of AEW that the fans continuously criticize is the women's division. And whilst researching for this video, it was quite interesting to see how most pro wrestling fans fall under one of these three different types. You have those wrestling fans that love to see the inclusivity of women's wrestling in their programming. These fans are interested in the storylines and characters of women's wrestlers just as much as the men's stories and gimmicks. You then have wrestling fans who do not watch women's wrestling. These individuals will typically take a bathroom break whenever a women's match is on TV and couldn't care less about the women's aspect of wrestling.
Boring!
Then you have those wrestling fans who enjoy watching a good women's wrestling match, however is not really put into the position of being excited about women's wrestling due to the lack of excitement and effort into the storylines that are presented to them. Three different wrestling fans, all of which have the right to be entertained with their programming. It is then their option if they choose to follow along or not. Enjoying the video? Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you are informed whenever a new video is uploaded. Female wrestlers in AEW fall under two categories: those whom you care about and those who you don't. What we need to determine is why you should care about these women. Is AEW putting effort in showcasing their female talent? Is AEW giving the opportunity for their women to cut a live promo in the ring? Is the creative team at AEW giving you intense and captivating storylines between these women? If you ask anyone right now who the best wrestler in AEW is, I bet most people would say Britt Baker, and it's not because she is the women's champion, that is simply irrelevant. When Riho was the first women's champion, most of the fans were not invested in her character because no one knew who she was. She did not have any opportunity to put herself over on the mic, and fans quickly started to realize that Riho was not credible enough to be the face of the division. Yet with Britt Baker, AEW invested a lot of time and resources in order to get her over with the fans and make her character stand out and be unique. She managed to improve herself in the ring and in her promos, because AEW believed in her abilities and talent. Throughout her time on television, AEW have given us pre-recorded promos, documentary-style promo packages, great wrestling matches, and the commentary team do their job in giving us information about Britt Baker in order to continue developing the character and getting her name familiar with the fans. This is one of the problems with AEW's women's division. Look at Anna Jay. Besides the fact that she's dating Jungle Boy and is in the Dark Order, what do we know about her? She looks great. Sure, that will get some viewers, but what about her gets you invested in her character? The same thing can be said to a lot of AEW's female roster. Yet when we look at established characters like Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, the story is completely different. And don't tell me it's because of their experience. Jade Cargill has been wrestling only for a few years, yet AEW has trusted her with a great debut match with Shaq and Cody Rhodes, and gave us tons of backstage segments and promo packages which gets the viewers invested in the character. AEW have failed to give us compelling stories outside Britt vs. Rosa, which is the only long-term storyline going on right now, but I do see things changing. Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida was a great feud featured recently on AEW programming, and Tony Khan managed to invest resources in these two women, getting the fans invested in the feud and answer the most important questions of any wrestling match. Why are these individuals having a match together? What is there to gain when winning this match, and why should I care about it? Serena Deeb is, in my opinion, one of the greatest signings in AEW simply because of her experience and ability to give advice and coach the many young women in AEW's roster. She said this herself in media scrums that there is inexperience in the division, which will only get better with time and energy. Right now everyone is talking about the latest street fight on AEW Rampage between Penelope Ford and the Bunny against Tay Conti and Anna Jay. Why did this match gain so much social media attention? Sure, part of the reason is the no DQ element of the match and the blood. The Crimson Mask is always a great touch to a wrestling match whenever it needs to be kicked up a notch. Yet the main reason everyone is talking about this match is because of the commitment these four women have shown in recent weeks. They have been continuously trying their best to get fans invested in this match, and after seeing this match I have to say that I was impressed. These four women managed to get people talking about women's wrestling in AEW, getting the roster excited about the future, and left the fans wonder the age-old question of what is going to happen next. AEW is not a perfect company, well, no company is. Yet their recent efforts to improve the women's division is clear to everyone. Lots of people criticize them in this aspect, and going back to what I said in my intro, this is why I love AEW. They take the fans' comments and criticism and use it as momentum to continue giving the fans what they want. AEW's women's division has the potential to be something special. Give it a few more months or even a couple of years, and you could very well be looking at one of the best women's roster in all of pro wrestling.